I now have 50 stitches on my needle, and so now we're ready to begin the decreases. If you look at our sample right here, you can see that it increases and then it begins to decrease. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do now, is to decrease the stitches. Make sure you count and have 50 stitches going across the top before you begin your decreases. All right? So let's squish it all together. That makes it easier to work with, closer to keep in your hand. And we're ready to begin. Go ahead and load your fingers with your yarn. We'll knit one stitch this time. Now the next part is kind of tricky, so watch closely. We're going to knit 2 stitches together. So if you watch closely, I'm going to skip the first stitch, come to the second stitch, slide my needle under and actually through both stitches. If you can see right here, my needle has actually gone through both stitches. I'm going to bring my yarn from behind and complete the knit stitch and slide both of those off. So where there were once 2 stitches, now there's 1. All right? Now we're going to go ahead and keep our pattern intact by doing our increase stitch. So bring the yarn from the back to the front, do a single knit stitch, slide it off, and knit the next 2 stitches together. So again, come to the second stitch, go through both stitches with the needle, wrap around from behind, pull through, and slide both stitches off. Now at this point you should show 5 stitches on your needle. We've actually worked with 7 stitches from the row before. We've decreased 2 and increased 1 to maintain our pattern. Now I know that sounds confusing, but as we work through it, you'll begin to see why we're working it just exactly this way. After you've completed, so you have 5 stitches on your right hand needle, go ahead and complete the rest of the row by knitting your way across. If we think through this pattern, what we've been doing to this point is we've been increasing every row. And the increase has left this beautiful lacy design around the edge. So we need to continue to incorporate that design, which is why we're still doing an increase on each row, even though our goal is to have less stitches on the needle at the end of each row. That's why we're knitting 2 stitches together, is to decrease those stitches. So at the end of the row we'll have 1 less stitch on our needle. Because we're increasing 1 to keep our pattern, we actually are having to decrease 2. I'm almost to the end of the row. We'll turn and we'll begin again. When you get to the end of this row, you should go back, double check, recount how many stitches there are, and you should have 49 stitches on your needle. By the time you've completed your second washcloth, you'll probably be knitting just this fast too. Okay, we're at the end, we're ready to turn around and begin again. So let's review the decrease that we're doing. We're going to knit 1 stitch. We're going to do a decrease by knitting 2 stitches together. So remember, slide your needle in to through both stitches at the same time. Complete the knit stitch. Whoops, we all make mistakes. Good thing we saved it. Bring your needle in through the second stitch, through both stitches at the same time. Complete that stitch, slide it off the needle. Do your increase, don't forget your increase, we want to maintain that pattern. Knit the next stitch. And then knit the next 2 stitches together for our final decrease. Stop and check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 5 stitches on this row before going. And then knit across the rest of your row. When you get to the end of this row, you should have 48 stitches on your needle. All right, let's review one more time. We'll knit the first stitch, decrease by knitting the next two together, increase to maintain the pattern, complete that increase stitch by knitting the one, and decrease again by knitting the next two stitches together. Stop and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're ready to finish the rest of the row. So go ahead and knit across till the end of the row. So you're going to continue to decrease each row until you only have 5 stitches left on your needle.
Thanks for watching. Click on the next step or replay to watch another video, and please rate, comment, and subscribe. You can also visit AmericanKnitter.com to purchase the knitting DVD set.